Hiya folks, welcome back to Fishing with Den. So, this time last week I was fishing in exactly the same swim here, trying to use sloppy paste for carp. Decent sized pieces that hardly stay on the hook. If you haven't seen the video, I'll put a link up above now so you can see what I'm talking about. But I was trying to use paste on the hook just to see how well it would work on a non-commercial venue, a natural venue. And to be honest, yeah, caught a few fish, tried the big sloppy paste, tried a slightly more firm, small pea-sized piece of paste, and as I say, caught a few fish, but I had a lot of foul hookers, and it just wasn't right. So today, I'm revisiting the same swim. I'm going to fish exactly the same spot, but instead of fishing with a paste float with no shot down the line, I'm going to fish with a normal float. This is a homemade one, of course. It's actually 0.6 of a gram because the wind's going to be getting up later on today and I can't be bothered to keep changing floats from a 0.4 to a 0.6 and so on. So I'm going with a 0.6 because I think that'll do it. It's about, oh, I don't know, what's that? 4 or 5 feet deep, 4 feet. So basically all I've done, I'm not going to catch on the drop. I've got this strong bulk down here and I've got one of these on. Don't know if you can see it. This is one of those quick change links because in addition to having an ordinary hook, which is a B911, and I've got some cows coming under the bridge here now for me, as well as having that, I've got that quick change link on because, if I can grab it, I'm going to also change to this hook length, which is a banded pellet. Now this banded pellet happens to also be Den's favourite mixture of turmeric flavoured boilie, if you like, so that's it. I've also got some of Den's turmeric flavoured pellets. I've got Den's turmeric flavoured ground bait. So pretty much everything's going to be the same as last week, except that I've also got some corn this week, just to see how we go. Now we may get interrupted because these cows, there's a herd of them trying to come up through from the bridge behind me, up this narrow pathway which I'm on, and they don't like the look of me, so not quite sure how that's going to go. So basically I'll get started and we'll see what happens. Probably mentioned I've got a 14 hook on today. I'm going to start with a piece of corn on the hook. Haven't put any bait out yet. All I've done is plumb the depth and that's it. So we are starting from scratch. So it may take a little bit of time for the fish to turn up. I put that out there. I will feed a little bit of pellet and a little bit of ground bait to start off with, I think. So I'm only fishing at a top 2 plus 2. There we go. They do seem to like a bit of ground bait in here, so I'll give them a couple of small pellets of that. Hear that cow? I think he wants to come through. A little bit off. Don't have to be too terribly accurate. That's better. I'll give them 3 small pellets of ground bait. And I hope that cow doesn't carry on. I might have to move some tackle and let him through at some point. Anyway, back to you when I get some fish. Oh, one thing I forgot to mention, of course. Oh, that cow's back behind me. I think he definitely wants to come on through, so I'll sort this out first of all, but then I'll show you the paste. That's what happens when you fish in natural venue. Actually, the cow can wait. Let's do the paste now. I've just got this 250 ml of water here. I've got 250 ml of my paste mixture. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour off. I don't want the paste too sloppy, so I'm going to go with just over 200 ml of water. Put that in there. Pour in the paste mixture. You saw me do this last week, but we'll do it again. So there we go, just mixing it up. I've started on the corn, by the way, because I wanted to show you me mixing this up. And you can always adjust the consistency a bit later if you want to, but basically just make sure it's mixed up and then leave it for 10 or 15 minutes or so to sort of confuse, as my wife says. But basically we're going to have quite a reasonable paste out of that. I'm going to leave that covered up and we'll carry on fishing with what we're doing. As always, have a rag with you, because this is going to get a bit messy with the paste again. But yes, back to what I was saying. We'll now start fishing proper.
I come down here yesterday.
Yeah.
Or the day before. I thought I'll take my irrigation foot valve out, take the pump off there.
Yeah.
In case, in winter time I'm not going to use it. We get a flood, it gets going. Come on, little bully boy. Come on. Keep moving up front.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Just that one to go, really.
Oh, she hasn't got one out there, so.
Oh, she'll stay, will she?
She'll probably stay. If she wants
So,
to go, well, that's luck.
back to what we were doing then, and what were we doing? Kind of lost track. Okay. Pretty much have to start from scratch again with the feeding, I think. So we'll put a piece of corn on, and grab the tackle. Take me a minute or two to get sorted out because I had to move everything out of the way of the cows. I really thought for a minute there was going to be a massive insurance claim going on, but from my insurance obviously. And let's get this back in. We'll get some bait in and we'll get this show started, shall we? Alright. Might as well go with 3 as if we were starting off again, because it's pretty much what we're doing. Okay, get some things covered up because the sun's coming out, and hopefully we'll catch a fish in a minute. Oh, there was a bite. First bite. I've been sat down probably 5 minutes since I came back from my little escapade. I'll definitely have a look at that creek at some point, although the banks are pretty steep, so I don't know how I'm going to get a box in down there. We'll worry about that when we go down. This one's not massive, but I think we'll catch maybe 1 or 2 on the Sweetcorn first of all, just to see if we can sort of get them started to come, and then we'll change to a piece of paste and see if we can still get them coming, and then we'll try that banded pellet. As I said, it's kind of like a boilie I make into a pellet sized bait and put turmeric on it. It's actually made out of turmeric too, but it's quite hard because of course you can't buy pellets over here in the same way as you can from the tackle shop in the UK. Come on. Some of these fish are really black in colour, aren't they? Really black. Look at that. Normally they're a nice silvery colour. Now that one's just on the outside of his mouth. Well, it was close to his mouth, wasn't it? I just hope we're not going to start doing this. Oh, don't go that way, fish. This, come on. There you go. Foul hooking things again. As I say though, we'll give it a go on the old corn for a short while. Of course, mostly what I'm feeding is the turmeric pellets and ground bait. And we'll just see, putting a little bit of corn in. Oh. Oh. A fairly quick bite. Certainly quicker than the ones from last week on the paste. I mean, I suppose if you think about it, the paste is used in commercial venues which are obviously way overstocked, but also the fish are so used to seeing bait all the time. Here, the only bait they get to see is pretty much mine, because Den's about the only one that ever fishes this place. Woo! I think I might just try a bit of that paste actually. It's had plenty of time to confuse. In other words, to get to its proper consistency. This is more of the sort of silver coloured carp you catch. And the hooks come out. Whether that was in his mouth or not, I don't know, but he's probably about £2. We'll put some paste on, I think. So this is the paste. As you see, looks like I've got it about right, because nice and soft, but also doesn't stick too badly to my fingers. Can you see that? This is quite a large lump. I'm just going to see if it makes any difference at all, but we'll vary the size of the lumps as we go. And that, for a short distance, will stay on the hook. Still pretty soft and it will strike through, but it will stay on the hook, so I'm not going to need to put it into a pole pot. Let me lift it up a bit. You can maybe see it now. There we are, look. Put it in the water, and that's it. Whoa, just put the rod down for a second and the pole down, and it went under. Don't know if this is a bit bigger. Certainly off over to my right. Come on, fish. There we go. So, first fish on the paste. And where are we at this time? Slightly bigger fish actually. Oh. Come on. Just on the outside of his lips again, but proper bite, stayed in. Why does it always do that to me? Okay, try and paste again. See the paste come out pretty well considering it's such an easy mixture. Let me just try a bit less this time just to see. Roll it up, push it on, and then just dress it all neatly so it's a bit of a point. And there we go. Not as messy as having to use that sloppy paste, and it certainly stays on better. So on balance at the moment, this is looking like an easier, more effective method than trying to use big paste. Farmer was telling me that you probably can't see it, but there's a blue barrel just up to my left. Oh. And that had gone before I'd even properly set up. Whoa, he's disappearing, isn't he? Well, that's going to be a bit of a struggle. Come on, turn round, turn round, turn round. I could put sections on, but shouldn't need to. Yeah, so up by that blue barrel there, which is actually a pumping station he uses sometimes, he came up the other day and there was a snake in there. a red-bellied black snake. They're not the most dangerous snakes in the world, those ones. They're actually fairly timid of humans. They just get out of your way. But they can give you a fairly nasty bite. And they are poisonous, so you'd have to go to the hospital and get a anti-venom. The ones you don't want to meet is the eastern brown snake, which is the second most deadly snake in the world, after the taipan, which is also an Australian snake. But the eastern brown is something you're more likely to come across than a taipan, because they're spread over more of the areas, and they can be quite aggressive if you're not careful. Their idea of defense is to attack. So just be very careful if you live out here with snakes. This is a decent fish. As I said, I should have put sections on, but they're all still shipped down to the left from when I got rid of those cows. So I'm just making do. In a match, obviously, I'd do it properly. This one's right up in the bank again there, look. Definitely a lot bigger, this one, isn't it? A lot more power. And that was literally straight away, as you saw. I didn't even see the bite. I was messing around doing something else. Got some go, this guy. Come on. A few bits of corn out there. Well, I don't know how big this guy is, but he's obviously quite a reasonable size of fish. Come on. He's not going to want to come up, is he? Maybe I should use a size 22 elastic instead, eh? I use that on the big lakes normally, but not so much on this one. I've had them up to about 12 or 15 pound in here though. Right, come on. Looks like it's in his gob, so there's something. Oh yeah, properly in the mouth, that one. Yeah, he'll do. Well, these are good, I don't know, 6 or 7, and nice and neatly in the mouth, which is what I wanted to see. I'm not going to take him out and show you, it's just not a huge fish, is it? I've got a shallow edge down here, so trying to get them to release is not so easy. Right, we'll get back out there and do it on the paste. As I said, that was a smaller piece. You can just do what I did here, which is to flatten it out and then curl it around. As long as it stays on the hook, that's all I'm worried about. Seems to stay on fine when I'm shipping out as well, so again, that's a bonus. There we go. Nice little run from left to right there. Well, certainly so far there's a marked difference between the catch rate from last time and this time. Same flavour and so on, just different way of presenting. Smaller fish this time though. I don't know, what's this, 4 or 5? Either way, I'm happy. And again, nicely in the corner of its mouth. Might as well stay on the paste for now, just to see if we can keep them coming for another couple of fish or so. But yeah, so far the paste seems to be okay. I'll try a slightly bigger piece then. Sort of that size. Not much bigger, but just to see. He's off. Average sort of fish, I reckon. The usual sort of 3-pounder-ish, something like that. I've actually been feeding just down here, just to see if they're going to come in on the edge there, in the margins. We've been visited by cows again. There we are, and nicely in the mouth. And again, just on the outside of the mouth, but he's there, so that's all right. Okay, so I've had a couple of minute break while I've ate my sandwiches and had a cup of tea. I'm going to go back to a piece of corn now. Catching pretty well on the paste. Just see if it goes any better on the corn again. Might be getting a bit more rain coming over. I'll try down there again shortly. I have actually fed it slightly in the last 10 minutes or so, but that's where the edge just slopes down until it hits the flat bit. It's quite a steep slope, but there's rocks all over it, so we'll see. Something to do a bit later if this slows down. Oh. Bit of a bob there, and yay. It's a lifty sort of thing, wasn't it? Well, we're having a few fish, aren't we? Strange how most of them seem to be just on the outside of the mouth, though. Still, it's not as though we're foul hooking them in the side or anything, so I'll live with that. Not sure why it's happening. Of course, we've got a fair few in the inside of the mouth as well, but it's just unusual to have so many just on the outside. Come on. Oh, a nice size of fish in here, aren't they? They're in a 3-poundish range. Maybe a bit more. Well, he's swallowed it. What do you know, Dent? What do you know? Decent enough fish that way. Stay on the corn again for this one, and then I think we'll try the banded pellet. But at the moment, it's looking like my thoughts on sloppy paste fishing for carp in these natural venues isn't really going to pay any dividends. I might as well do what I'm doing now, fish with a normal rig, and I can just change to different baits as I need to. But We'll see. Oh, it seems to have slowed down again now. Mind you, we had a few fish out and it's from the same area, so I mean, under normal circumstances I'd be trying different areas of the swim, but certainly so far we've had a reasonable amount of fish out here. And, hey. Alright, well after this one then we'll give that banded pellet a go. Although, as I say, it is slowing down a bit, so if we don't catch anything, it isn't necessarily because of the banded pellet. He's going well, isn't he? He's off out there. Plenty of stretch in this elastic. Oh, by the way, just in case you're wondering, this is 14 to 16 slick elastic from Matrix, which I must admit I've been struggling to get hold of for a while now because it doesn't seem to be in stock anywhere. And when I say a while, I mean something like 9 months. But hey, been good so far, isn't it? The small intermissions between moving the cows and stuff. Still, I did find out about that bit of a creek down there, that river. It's only small, it's only shallow, but there's plenty of it for me to go at. I'll do that another day. Oh, decent fish. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Well, another good 6-pounder. They're very stocky. This one's actually been caught in the mouth, which is good. My fingers work. Nope, I need the disgorger to do this. Can't pinch my fingers together properly lately. Nope. Okay, we'll get him back in. And this time we'll change over to the banded pellet, see how we go with that. So, just in case you haven't seen these before, and I'll mention it at the start. Let's see if we can show you a bit easier. Quick change link. There it is. Just pull the rubber back. That exposes a hook, and you can just take your hook off. So, I'll just put this somewhere safe because we're coming back to this shortly. I'll stick it into this EVA and we'll put the pellet on. And again, all that is, just find the loop, hook it in and then push down till it's in. That's it. So, one pellet already attached. I'm just going to get a shot on because I forgot I was using a telltale shot, so we'll put that on and we'll see what we get on this. But so far I'm quite pleased at the way things are going. I'm not losing fish today like I was last week. Wish those cows would disappear. Oh, oof. Well, that was a bit of a surprise. Wasn't expecting that. Still messing around trying to get the floating right. Just goes to show they're going to take it, doesn't it? That could have been foul hooked, of course. Well, Looks like it's gone a bit quiet in this area of the swim now, which, as I've said before, isn't surprising. Just keep taking fish out the same area, and yes, that's quite likely to happen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start exploring further out and left and right and do different things for the rest of the afternoon. But, oh, hang on. Ah dear, and you get a bite when you do that. Okay then, done. Let's get this one in and talk at the same time. See if we can do two things at once. So where are we at? Well, it certainly seems that all three of the baits work. Whether Sweetcorn works better than the paste or the paste works better than the pellet, still up for grabs, and I think it depends on the venue and on the day and how the fish are feeling. But the good news is that we can use a normal rig and we can use all three baits, and it gives us a change, which is great. In terms of the big sloppy paste on the pole, I'm probably not going to use it over here, if I'm honest, because in these natural venues it's just more efficient to do what I'm doing here, and it's also good fun. But as I say, I'm going to start exploring now, and I'm going to leave you guys to it. And that one's nicely in its mouth, which is exactly what we wanted. So thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, as always, click the like button for me please. If you want to subscribe, great too, and until the next time, bye for now.